guys, welcome back to another video. I randomly decided to buy books on Amazon for the first time, and I didn't realize how much cheaper it is to buy them that way versus in store. Quite a bit of a difference. But today I'm going to be reading the books that I bought. So let me just show you the books that I got so far. Let me just preface this by saying I don't really know much about any of the books. All of the ones that I've bought, I have heard people rave about. So these are books that I'm really excited to read because people that I share similar book opinions with have been obsessed with them. And so I just think that I'm also going to be obsessed as well. Starting off, we have Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This was recommended by Heather McLary. Absolutely love her channel. She rated this 6 stars. It's about Wynn and Bo, and Wynn has like a disability or something with her limbs, like she might have a shorter limb or something. It doesn't specify, but she has a one-night stand with Bo, and Bo ends up helping her with some type of challenge in her life. But yeah, the back is really kind of vague. If Heather said this was 6 stars, she was going on and on about this and how good it was. I'm gonna read it. Also, I just finished ACOTAR, so I need like a little romance. I'm gonna be reading this in between Akamoth because that Bible-sized book is gonna take a while to finish, and I want to like read some fun romances in between. So I'm gonna read this one. I have seen so many people going off about this series, so I only got the first one just in case I don't like it. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Specifically, Sarah Caroli and Destiny Sidwell have raved about this. They said they absolutely loved it, ate it up, read the series or the books that are out super quickly. I think it's about these teens that they all have these really good talents when it comes to FBI investigative Criminal Minds type vibe. I've heard it compared to Criminal Minds. Don't know what that is, never watched it or anything. When I was younger, I loved like criminal mystery type of stuff. I absolutely loved it, and so I have a feeling I'm gonna really like this. I only got the first one, and that's the one we're gonna be reading in this video. Lastly, this is funny because I know nothing about this series. I really don't know anything about it. I have seen this series all over the place and this author, and so I was like, just get it. Just start it, see what the hype is about. So I just bought all 3 of them, and that is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. Please like don't ask me what it's about because I don't know, but there was a book, I forgot what it was called, but there was a book that I wanted to read, and everyone was saying that book is super good but you need to read this series first. So I was like, okay, bet, yes ma'am. So I just got the whole thing. Also, tell me why these are so beautiful. Do you see that? So pretty. But in this video I'm just gonna be reading the first one. Yeah, that's a little intro to this video. This is going to be the first book that I read. So yeah, I'll be sharing my thoughts, opinions, and ratings on all of these books. And of course, spoiler free. Let's begin. I'm only 16 pages in, but their meet cute is it's so meet cutie. The amount of stuff I've already underlined, like I've already underlined so much. Their dialogue and their banter is just so cute. Wynn and Bo both have, I don't want to be insensitive when I'm describing this, but Wynn has like a smaller sized hand and a little different looking, and then Bo has a prosthetic leg from his knee down. And part of the meet cute, I'm not gonna like say everything about it, but part of it, once he like figured out that Wynn had her little hand, reached out to her with his left hand because he realized that her right hand was disabled. It's just really cute, and I'm really liking it. Barely anything has happened, but I've liked it. The way I've only read 3 chapters, how is it already so good? How do they have such good banter even when they're... Hey guys, Sorry if the air sounds kind of loud. I'm in my car. I live in Texas. I'm not turning it down. But I wanted to give an update on Out on a Limb because it looks like I've read close to 50% now. And it's weird because on Goodreads, when I put in the amount of pages I've read, it isn't showing the percent. It just shows the amount of pages that I put in. And so every time that I enter in the page number that I'm at in Goodreads, I will Google what percentage of the book I'm through. Anyways, I am loving this book. Basically, Wynn ends up getting pregnant, and so this is pregnancy trope, which is not my favorite. That is just not one that I really love. However, it has been done so well so far in this book. The banter between Bo and Wynn, it is so good, and I never thought I would say this. It is getting up there with Emily Henry banter. Like beach read, book lovers, people we meet on vacation. Emily Henry has such good banter. The banter in this book, guys, every time, especially when it's Wynn and Bo, every time they interact, I am literally cheesing, laughing, and giggling. Also, Wynn, her best friend, her name is Sarah, is married to Caleb, and Caleb, Sarah, and Wynn have been friends for a long time. So it's really cool seeing the relationship between not only Sarah and Wynn, but Caleb and Wynn. It's like they're siblings almost, and it's just so cute. But I love Sarah too. Like her personality, her sense of humor, she literally said something that had me laughing. Like her jokes and her sense of humor was just, it's just so funny to me. And every single character in this book so far, I have like an emotional attachment with. Like I just love them all so much. So yeah, this book is turning out really well. Like I don't have any complaint, but I'm gonna head to the library, edit my ACOTAR reading vlog, and then I'll try to read a little bit more of Out on a Limb. Hey guys, so yesterday I finally finished Out on a Limb. I have never read a perfect book before. I can now check that off the list. First off, I don't even know where to start. Bo, who is the MMC in this book, is the definition of a perfect man. This man, I don't know if did he do anything wrong? He literally had no red flags and did nothing wrong. He was so perfect. The sweetest, most perfect man to exist. The unexpected pregnancy trope, not my cup of tea. Not something I enjoy. It was done perfectly. This book made me want to read more pregnancy trope books. However, I'm probably not going to do that because only this book could make it sound that good. This was a 5-star read from me. The banter between all the characters, the amount of times I would laugh from their conversations because they're genuinely actually funny. Just like the banter in general is so enjoyable. I love the characters in this book. Every little moment, like I never found myself not enjoying this book, and that's even in the most mundane moments. I was always loving it. Also, the epilogue at the end is 10 years later. One of my favorite epilogues. I don't really prefer epilogues at the end of books, but this one, once again, was done perfectly. Please send me the arc to any other book you ever write. Can I just have them all? Before I even started this book, I had already added some of her other books to my want to read TBR on Goodreads, but now I gotta buy them. Heather McLary was not wrong about this, guys. Please go read this book. Please go read it. You won't regret it. Great way to start off this video. Wynn and Bo are just so perfect. Should I get pregnant? That's a joke. Not funny. The next book I'm going to be reading is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I know she wrote The Inheritance Games, which was a pretty popular series, kind of like a young adult fantasy series, I believe. I haven't read it, but I have heard a lot about it. The Naturals, I have heard, is like a young adult Criminal Minds type of thing. I already described it at the beginning of this video, but I've just heard that a lot of people have really been enjoying this series. Also, this looks like such a super fun and quick, easy easy read. The words are like a pretty decent size. They're not like super small or anything. And then there's only a little over 300 pages. So I have a feeling this is just going to be a fun series. I only have the first one in this series because like I can't just drop a ban on a bunch of books. So I'm going to read this, see if I like it, and then eventually I will buy the other ones and read those as well. So yeah, this is our next read. Oh, it matches my jeans. How cute is that? Also, this is completely irrelevant, but I just finished editing my ACOTAR vlog today, and if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it because it was such a fun video. Like, I feel like it was really entertaining, and it's spoiler free. If you somehow haven't read ACOTAR, you can still watch the video with no spoilers. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. Okay, I'm only 36 pages in, but there are these random pages that are titled You at the top, and I think it's like from the perspective of the killer in this book. I'm not quite sure, but it slightly confuses me. Each one of these pages are so twisted. It's so weird. It's like we're in the killer's mind, like we are the killer, but we really have no other clues as to what's going on. Like that. I don't know. It's like a cool little aspect though. I like that it's in there. I would say I have probably been reading this an hour and a half max. I'm already 100 pages in. I read this much, and it is so good and so interesting. I like never want to stop reading it. I don't even know how to describe it, but just like the way it's set up, like nothing crazy has really happened yet, but just the way it's written and the way things are staged out, and also every single one of the naturals, they're so intriguing. Cassie, Sloane, Leah, Dean, and Michael. Yeah, so there's 5 of them. They're all so interesting and they all have such cool talents. I am just really loving it. I should probably go ahead and get like the rest of the books in this series because I could easily finish this tomorrow if I have a little bit of time. This is crazy. Like, I heard this book was good. I just wasn't expecting. I don't know. I am just so intrigued and I'm gonna keep reading. I am really regretting something right now. Not buying this full series. Guys, this book was so good. This is one of those books. This, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and The Silent Patient are 3 books that I know in my head. Like, those are ones I remember I read at a very quick pace in a very short amount of time. This is one of them. I'm in love with this whole group of the naturals. The 5 people in that group, I love every single one of them. They all have such unique personalities and obviously unique skills, but the storyline, like the plot, was so good. If I was given just a day of nothing, I could have read this in like one sitting. I'm not even kidding. It was so good. And also the little splash of romance that's thrown in, it was done perfectly, because with these type of books where the plot is so good and the mission mystery type of thing is like the main focus, I don't want the romance to overpower that, but they had the perfect amount of romance in here and it was done perfectly, and I can't wait to see where it goes and where the relationships with the main characters go. If I was mood reading, I would start the second book right now. I would start the second book now, but that's not what I'm doing. Anyways, ended up rating this 4.5 stars. Highly recommend. I'm saving my money and buying the rest of the series. I need it now. I'm obsessed. It is time. Probably mentioned this at the beginning of this video, but I wanted to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, that book and Divine Rivals, I was like, guys, which one should I read? And everyone was saying Once Upon a Broken Heart, like, it's so good. And so I was gonna get it, and then everyone told me that I needed to read Caraval before that. So I bought this whole series. So even if I don't like this book, I'm probably gonna still make myself read all of them and then read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I am going into this completely blind, probably the most blind I've ever gone into a book. The only part about this that I do remember is that there's obviously magic in it. There's a point where it is hard for the people in the real world to understand when they are under magic versus in real life. And so things start to get mixed up, and that gets really dangerous, and really bad stuff can happen when that misunderstanding takes place. I'm pretty excited, not gonna lie. Like, I'm ready for this. And also the cover is a work of art. Look at that, and the sides. One thing about me, I will judge a book by its cover. Sorry. I am on page 56, about to start chapter 7. First off, this book is beautiful. Do you see that? Like, the cover and everything is so pretty, and then the inside, like the pages and the chapters and the map at the beginning are so pretty. But I definitely think I am gonna love this series. The detail, it's so descriptive and beautifully written to where you can really like see the magic. You can see everything so vividly in your mind because of the way it's written. And right now things are just starting. Scarlett and her sister Donatella, she goes by Tella, they are escaping the island that they live on with a guy named Julian because their dad is basically, he's abusive, and Scarlett is supposed to get married in a few days, and she's hoping that that marriage will kind of get her and her sister away from her dad and where they can be safe. But they end up getting invited to Caraval, and so Scarlett's like, no, like, I need to get married, we need to make this happen. And her sister's more impulsive, and she's like, no, let's go. So basically her sister and Julian kind of kidnap Scarlett, and she has just shown up at the island of Caraval, where Caraval takes place, and the guy who like rules Caraval or whatever, his name is Legend. It's already really interesting, even though nothing too exciting has happened yet. I am loving it. I feel like I'm gonna love this whole series. I'm really excited. I literally just stopped mid-chapter, mid-page, because I remembered that I haven't updated too much. You can't really tell. I'm actually a little over halfway through. Really loving this. This is so different from anything I've ever read. I am currently in the middle of ACOTAR, like that whole series. I'm on Achamoth right now, and obviously that's fantasy, so like there is magic involved. But this feels like a much more extravagant version of magic that you hear about as a kid. If I was forced to and held against my will and someone told me guess how the rest of this book might turn out, it's like so unpredictable to me. This has only happened for me with a few books. One that I can really remember is When in Rome. But when you find a playlist on Spotify that goes perfectly with the vibe of the book, it makes the reading experience so much better. And I have been listening to this playlist, Reading Caraval, and it says it's by Frails 2005. This is what it looks like, and it's so good. There aren't words in these songs, which is my preference of type of music I like to listen to while reading, because it's a little less distracting, especially if a playlist has songs that I know. But anyways, listening to this while reading this, perfect combo. Highly recommend. But yeah, this is getting very interesting. Also, the little bit of romance, there's the perfect amount of romance in this book. I can't wait to finish this series and then read Once Upon a Broken Heart, because everybody said it's really, really good. And if I think this is good and everyone's saying Once Upon a Broken Heart is better than this, it's gonna be a good book. Yesterday, I finished Caraval. Guys, this book was obviously so different from anything I've ever read because it was so magical. Like, this book had me truly believing that magic was like real. I don't know how Stephanie Garber did it, but it just, the way the story was written really like makes the magic feel real. And it does feel like there is evil magic and real good magic, and magic that makes good things seem bad or makes bad things seem good. It was just such a fun read. I really liked the storyline, and I feel like I might even like the books that come after this one even more now that I've gotten more used to the way the magic in this world works and what things to try to pay attention to. But yeah, I really loved the ending of this book. So much went on towards the I'd say the last 25% of the book. Obviously that's how a lot of books go, but this one specifically, it was getting to the point where I was like, how are we going to resolve this situation that we're in? A lot of stuff is gonna have to happen. Miracles are gonna have to take place. Something crazy is gonna have to happen for this to end in a way that doesn't make me disappointed. All I gotta say is I loved this ending. Also, there is a little bit of romance in here. I kind of like the romance. I feel like it was a little insta-lovey a little bit. I would have preferred for it to have more of a build-up or more of a friends to lovers type of thing, but I still did enjoy it and enjoyed the way it just added to the story and the plot. So yeah, I'm giving Caraval 4 stars. Really enjoyed it, and I've already started the book that comes after it. I'm 4 chapters in. The one after this I think is called Legendary. Yeah, that's the one I've already started. Also, this is completely random. I just realized that I'm currently in the middle of 5 different series, and it kind of stressed me out because I was worried I would forget about one of the series and just never read them. But I'm just gonna list them off to you guys. So I'm in the middle of ACOTAR. That one's gonna take a while to finish. ACOTAR, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, The Naturals, which I just started, Caraval, which I just started, and then the Never After series, which I started in a different YouTube video, and I've only read 1 book. Vibing in between 5 series right now. Okay, I have the other 2 books I read in this video, so we'll just do a little recap on those. You just got my rating on this one, so I don't need to recap this. First off, we started off this video with Out on a Limb. For the pregnancy trope and for what this book was made to be, it was absolutely perfect and I loved it. The banter, guys, I have never experienced banter that's so close to Emily Henry level banter, and this was it. It was so good. I also love all the other side characters in this book. Bo, who is the MMC, he's actually so perfect. The more I think about him, the more I'm like, can you exist in real life? Why are you not real? I absolutely loved it and highly recommend Out on a Limb. And the last book for this little recap, but the second one that I filmed for this video, is The Naturals. This was so good and I'm understanding the hype. I understand why people are loving this series. Like I mentioned, I've never watched Criminal Minds, never seen it, but everyone's saying it's like a young adult Criminal Minds. It is so good. Throughout the whole book, there's so many twists and turns, and the characters, guys, the characters and their personalities, I'm already so attached to them, and it only took barely 300 pages for me to be attached to every single one of them. I love them and I cannot wait to see what happens in the rest of this series. If I had the money right now to just drop on something, I would drop it on the rest of the Naturals series like that. It was just so good, and it made me feel like a kid. Like, you know when you're a kid and you're reading a book and it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it gets you feeling some type of way. That is exactly what this book did. So good. Definitely highly recommend this. I feel like I could even safely recommend the whole series without even having read it. Yeah, I rated The Naturals 4.5 stars. Read this in such a short amount of time. Highly recommend. All the books I bought from Amazon because TikTok made me do it. Yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed getting to read with you guys. I started 2 really good series that I'm so excited to read. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on TikTok or Instagram. I post a lot of book content on both of those. But yeah, I love y'all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.